The announcer's voice echoed through the hall, calling their names. As they stepped onto the stage, the crowd welcomed them with polite applause, unaware that they were about to witness one of the most unforgettable golden buzzer moments of 2025. The judges looked up, curious but calm, having seen thousands of auditions before. For them, it was another day, another duet, another hopeful pair chasing a dream. Or so they thought. The camera zoomed in as the duo introduced themselves. Their voices were soft but steady. They explained that they came from a small town in the Philippines, a place where music was not just entertainment but survival, where singing at family gatherings, street corners, and local events was a way to forget hunger, pain, and fear. They spoke about growing up with very little money, about sharing one meal a day, about helping their parents work instead of going to school sometimes, and about how music became the one thing that kept their family together. One of them spoke about losing a parent at a young age, about how nights were filled with tears and unanswered questions. The other talked about carrying responsibility too early, becoming strong before fully understanding what strength really meant. But when they talked about singing together, their faces changed. Their eyes lit up. Music was their safe place. Music was home. The judges listened carefully. One leaned forward, another nodded slowly. And then the camera cut to Simon Cowell, who looked interested but reserved. He had heard emotional stories before. He had heard great singers before. It takes something truly special to shake him. Simon asked a simple question. Why a duet? The answer came without hesitation. Because when we sing together, we feel complete. Alone, we are just voices. Together, we are a story. The audience applauded softly. The judges exchanged glances. The stage was set. The music began with a single soft note. No big introduction. No dramatic build-up. Just silence. The harmony was unreal. It was not just two voices singing together. It was as if they were breathing the same emotion, sharing the same heartbeat. Their tones blended perfectly, rising and falling like waves, powerful yet delicate. The song told a story of loss and love, of broken dreams and second chances, of holding on when everything tells you to let go. The audience slowly leaned forward. Phones were forgotten. Whispers stopped. The room became completely still, as if the world outside no longer existed. As the song reached the first chorus, the power increased. Their voices soared, filling the hall with a sound that felt bigger than the stage itself. It was the kind of performance that makes you forget you are watching a competition. It felt like a concert, a prayer, a confession. The camera cut to the judges. One had tears forming in their eyes. Another had a hand over their mouth. And then there was Simon. His expression changed. The skepticism melted away, replaced by surprise, then admiration. He leaned back slightly, shaking his head as if to say, "I cannot believe what I am hearing." The second verse stripped everything back again. Softer. More intimate. You could hear the slight tremble in their voices, not from fear, but from emotion. They were not performing for the judges anymore. They were singing for each other. For their family. For every kid back home who dreams with nothing but hope. As the final chorus approached, the music swelled. The harmony grew stronger. The lyrics hit harder. The duo stepped closer together, eyes closed, completely lost in the moment. And then came the final note. It was long. Powerful. Perfect. Silence for a split second, nobody moved. Nobody breathed. Then the entire auditorium exploded. The audience jumped to their feet, screaming, cheering, clapping as loud as they could. A standing ovation filled the room, shaking the walls. The duo stood frozen, hands covering their mouths, eyes wide with shock. They looked at each other, tears streaming down their faces, trying to understand what was happening. The judges stood as well. Applause from the panel is rare, but this was not an ordinary audition. This was something special. Simon remained standing, clapping slowly at first, then faster. He looked at them with a smile that said everything. When the noise finally settled, he leaned forward to speak. He said he had listened to singers from all over the world. He had heard incredible voices, seen powerful stories, and witnessed unforgettable moments. But what they just did was different. It was not just about talent. It was about connection. About truth. About something you cannot teach or fake. He said their harmony was world-class. That they sounded like they had been singing together their entire lives, not just practicing, but living music together. He admitted that at the beginning, he did not know what to expect. But within seconds, he realized he was witnessing something rare. Another judge spoke next, praising their emotional control, their song choice, and the way they told a story without overdoing it. They said the performance felt honest, not forced, not dramatic for the sake of drama. It felt real. The third judge could barely speak through tears. They said the performance reminded them why they fell in love with music in the first place. Then Simon stood up again. The room went quiet. He walked toward the center of the desk, eyes still locked on the duo. He said moments like this do not come often. That sometimes, you wait an entire season for one audition that reminds you why this show exists. He paused. The duo held their breath. Simon reached for the golden buzzer. Time slowed down. The crowd started screaming even before it happened, sensing what was coming. And then he pressed it. Gold confetti exploded from the ceiling, raining down like a dream made real. The music kicked. As the confetti continued to fall, the camera showed the crowd. Strangers were hugging. People were wiping tears from their faces. Social media was already exploding, clips being shared, reactions pouring in from around the world. Backstage, the duo spoke through tears, thanking their parents, their families, and everyone back home who believed in them. They said they came to the audition with hope, but never imagined this. They promised to make their country proud. In the days that followed, the performance went viral. Millions of views in hours. Comments from every corner of the globe. People calling it the best duet in years. Musicians praising their harmony. Fans begging for original music. News outlets shared their story. Interviews followed. But through it all, the duo remained humble, grounded, always returning to the same message. This is for everyone who feels invisible. This is proof that dreams are valid, no matter where you come from. And that is what made this moment so powerful. It was not just about winning a competition. It was about being seen. Being heard. Being believed in. This golden buzzer moment reminded the world that talent has no borders, that emotion speaks every language, and that sometimes, the most unforgettable voices come from the most unexpected places. If this story moved you, if this performance gave you goosebumps, let us know in the comments. Share this video with someone who needs a little hope today. And remember, no matter how impossible your dream feels, your moment could be just one song away. Thank you for watching, stay inspired, stay kind, and we will see you in the next video.